Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about those first images from MOTU Origins Wave 5. We're also going to talk about the hints and teasers for Wave 5 of Super7's TMNT Ultimates. We're also going to share our latest toy hauls and maybe stump John. All of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks, our weekly live toy talk show, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with me, as always, on this journey is none other than John. John, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
I am doing okay. Had some computer trouble, so I do apologize for the slight delay to tonight. So we jumped right into it because we didn't want to be late, and the chat is already hopping. It is jumping tonight. Alex is here. Gamaliel's here. PD Dubs Heyo is in the house. Scored the MODOK Marvel Legend this morning. Man, that figure is great. That's awesome. BMM 1984 Sunday Fun Day Toy Geeks Day. I like that a lot. Adam Smedberg CAF is here. Luis, Jason Clark. Favorite party week? Well, thank you, Jason. It's also one of my favorite days of or moments of the week as well. Joe Rad is here. All music fan. It's a MOTU evening. That is true. A lot of MOTU stuff happening this week. Riley Bob is here. Bo Kagel. Anyone got MOTU Origins Skeletor? Well, we'll talk about that. I am sure we'll probably lead off with that. Jason Clark. Let's see. A lot of combos happening. Want to make sure I don't miss any of the intros to start. Oh, Chris Bather. I've been watching the channel for a few months. Love it. We haven't gotten Wave 1 in Australia yet. Sorry to hear that, Chris, but hopefully that means it's just around the corner. KJ Smith. Jack Knight 73. Mega Ponytron 93, Pop Actor is here, Roberto Colon, Macanita Silva. This are my Oscars. Love it. Yes, it is Oscars night tonight. And I feel so like did the movies happen this year? Like it's just a weird. I have no clue.
It's like the streaming awards. It seems like
if you're gonna check a stream tonight, you picked the right one. Luis Daniel Hernandez, Alex Martinez, Master Blaster is here, Jumpin' General, Nelson. All right, that's a good crowd for us tonight, John.
The red carpet is rolled out.
Yes, it is. Hey, we'll at least do a better job than was it James Franco and Anne Hathaway did for the Oscars, which isn't saying much, but we can at least do better than that. I hope. All right. So let's kick this off because the Rise of Evil 2-pack last week, finally started to show up in stores, pretty much West Coast, right, John?
Yep. Yeah.
And as we were talking about it, I was like, don't check the price. So we went and checked the price. This was towards the end of the episode, I feel like. And they were going for like $350 sold on eBay. And so everyone was off to the races, following the MOTU Origins, MOTU boards and all that kind of stuff. People and finding them all over. I went to a few Walmarts all week long, did not find one. Did you have any luck this week, John?
No, it's Target, isn't it? Isn't it
Target exclusive? Yeah.
Target exclusive? Yeah, you said Walmart.
Oh, sorry, Target exclusive.
No, I actually didn't even check. I figured, I'll find it when I find it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drive all over Creation looking for it because I'm not close to a Target. But it's funny how fast they showed up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Seems like it's always like a 2 or 3 week buffer from when things we see locations on eBay.
Yep.
Always West Coast. And it was like within just days.
Yeah.
They were over here.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the placeholder dropped on Target I feel like months ago. So I wonder if, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to put too much conjecture into it. But so they hit, as we did our show last week,
Yep.
the prices were insane. $350 for a $29 set is ridiculous. And then today, you were able to buy it online. It kind of showed up online on Target a few times. So let me share this here. Toy Shiz, always a great follow on Instagram. If you haven't yet, give Toy Shiz a follow. But it was kind of keeping up to date with it, showing up today. I missed out on it each time, but I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit easier, because as I look at eBay today, the sold listings, what was it, 350 last week? We're already down into the 80s. A couple bids up to 101. This one was just selling Cronus, $50 plus the box. Why get rid of Cronus? He looks just as cool.
Right. I mean, maybe they just bought multiples. But I mean, hey, last week it was going for 10 times retail. Now it's a little under 3 times. Just a waiting game. Wait till, I'll be all right paying like $50 for it if I want to. But there's no way I would still pay in the 80s. Not yet.
Yeah. Yep. So hopefully it continues to come down, but that didn't stop people on the internet for having some fun on eBay this week. I took a couple of screenshots of things that I kind of saw pop up throughout the week, so I did want to share those here. Let's see, where'd it go? Hold on. Here we go. All right. So this person was selling. Hold on, where is it? There we go. Was selling just the tissue paper that came in the ship. Now this was tongue in cheek. This was not legit. I mean, it was listed on eBay. Selling just the little tissue paper for $125.
That is. I mean, I get it.
So what they wrote, Masters of Universe Packaging, Paper Origins, Cronus, blah, 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 blah. Box not included. Only selling packing paper that came with 2-pack. Where shown. What a better way to protect your investment with the Mattel original packing paper. Don't miss this chance. One up your collection, buddy.
The one-of-a-kind tissue paper.
Oh my goodness. And then this one I also thought was really funny. This was somebody putting up the 2-pack for $90,000 list on. Look
at that shipping price.
For $32,000 in shipping. So that was fun. And obviously this is tongue in cheek. This is kind of a bit of a troll on just how insane this was for a moment. Price reflects the current Indian rates on here. And then I love the description here. I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go stand in line at 6 in the morning with all those Pokemon and football card people for over 2 hours. Blah 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 blah. Condition is new. Ships on a slick mule with one eye and a broken leg. Please note, once he gets there, give him an apple, point in the direction he came from, and tell him to go home. He'll know what to do from there. For the mule. And then also make sure you point on the side with his good eye. Otherwise, he'll just stand there. His name is Marvin if there's any trouble.
Get this man an award.
Please do not keep the mule. He has other deliveries. So I don't know this seller. I got a kick out of that.
Wow. That is really funny.
But that was really funny. Oh, Marvin the Mule. Vocal Cocker says dirt cheap. Yeah, dirt cheap. Real cheap. Space Cowboy 2, the single Cronus. I wouldn't be surprised if the person selling Cronus plus box is someone who does custom mods and needed just a Keldor. But still, like, I feel like if you're doing like Cronus, still I think has value for that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it's true. Who knows? I mean, maybe they only care about Keldor and like Cronus. I hate him. He did me wrong. Brian's totally awesome collection. Haven't found any way to in the wild yet, and Walmart just canceled my Castle Grayskull pre-order. Yes, that has been one of the other big undercurrents in toy collecting this week. Is Walmart is doing what it's been doing, which is canceling a bunch of Walmart pre-orders. Before some of the other things got revealed this week, one of the topics I do want us to have at some point, maybe next week, is just let's dig into Walmart pre-orders because I feel like it should be talked about. What's the point at this point? And that's the gist of it. But I would like to dig in it more. Maybe have a panel, maybe get some people on as well to talk about it. But because it is absurd at this point, absolutely absurd. So anyway, fish shopping. He might get that money. Hey, listen, if someone buys it for that much,
they should be allowed to keep the mule though for that kind of money.
I mean, it's a one-eyed mule named Marvin. Easily worth the 32 grand in shipping.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, that was really funny. Okay. Let's go to the main topic of today's episode. And that is Wave 5 pictures dropped just a few days ago. I believe it was an Argentinian website or something like that. If I'm remembering this correctly, I may be completely wrong. I've been known to be wrong before, but and these seem to be legit pictures of Wave 5, and they look really good.
Yeah.
You know, I think let's do this figure by figure. Let's start with Evelyn. What's kind of first thoughts here on the Evelyn?
I mean, I like how they're doing the 2000X style. I guess you can call it Battleground Evelyn, sort of the same take. Not so much from the classics look, but that they threw on the 2000X card logo. I think that's awesome. Like that was super cool for me, and I hope that means that we'll be able to get some more 2000X inspired designs.
Agreed. Yeah, I think if one little nitpick here is I wish it was a D head dressed. Evelyn.
Yeah, with like the white hair. Yeah, me too. Maybe there's an extra head in there. Maybe we haven't seen it yet.
Well, so looking, and I think All Music fan, what accessories does she come with? I love this version of Evelyn. So looking behind here, they are tucked behind. If you look, it seems kind of more cylindrical, or maybe kind of just in a straight line, not a lot of space. So I assume she'll only come with her staff, probably in purple instead of blue. And I doubt there would be an extra head sculpt in here because they've reserved extra head sculpts, extra hands and stuff for their deluxe figures. And this is a standard release figure. So it seems I would, if I was a betting man, I would say we are not going to get an extra head sculpt on this one. And that leads to my next question. And I think Damned Ash made it more direct. Why another Evelyn already? And I think that's a fair point here, because if you were doing a 2000X Evelyn, go deluxe so that we could have the just unhead dressed version, with just her hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, John?
I agree. I think if they were going to do another Evelyn, just like Hordak, the battle armors, anybody that's a duplicate already should be a deluxe, because not only the head sculpt for this version of Evelyn, she should have a dagger.
Yes.
Her staff should have two different orbs, because it had like the black colored one.
Yep.
In the classics version, and then it had like the glow in the dark orb.
Yep.
So I mean, this figure could be loaded with accessories, if they were doing a true Battleground Evelyn. But I get it. They they get to make another figure out of the tooling that they already have.
Sure. Yeah. And it also seems an extra layer to these deluxe figures so far, as they've all had some type of like battle action feature, So you have both the battle armor He-Man and Skeletor. The Ram Man had a little spring-loaded feature. Clamp Champ has his claw, and Buzzsaw Hordak, it has the Buzzsaw effect. So maybe for Evil Lyn, there's never been an action featured Evil Lyn that I'm aware of. So maybe that's why they did that, but still, I could care less about the action feature. But this is maybe where the line separates between adult collector line and more a general toy line, where to put in the money, the extra $5 for a deluxe figure, they want to have that much extra stuff in it, and they would not go for Evil Lyn because there's no history of an action feature to Evil Lyn. But that's a bummer because none of the female figures have ever had an action feature, and those are some of the figures that are primed to have extra accessories, extra head sculpts. So I hope this is an early in the line thing, but hopefully in time, deluxe figures don't necessarily have to have an action feature, because this Evil Lyn is a prime example of maybe a deluxe that didn't have an action figure, but it gave us a whole bunch of accessories.
Yep. Yeah, I think they could throw in extra accessories on a figure that they already have the tooling for. And then if you think about it, the amount of accessories that a figure like He-Man and Skeletor come with, because like Evil Lyn's buck, her body is it's solid. Whereas like He-Man and Skeletor, they have armor. That armor is part of another tool, so it's another accessory. So when like He-Man and Skeletor comes with 4 or 5 accessories, she'll come with 1. That's my big gripe about it. Like, they could still do so many more things on a basic carded figure.
Chris Bather says, is that an accessory bag behind her left leg? Yes. So that's the accessory bag. And in terms of just it being very thin, and this is my assumption, it's probably just the staff.
Yep.
So that's just kind of the bummer there. Let's see. Happy Accident says, I believe Evil Lyn's accessory glowed in the dark play feature. Was that for the 2000 version? Because I know the original 80s one did not glow in the dark. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember the 2000X one did. I don't think it did.
But if we're talking about, okay, what action figures can we give it to then warrant Evil Lyn getting a deluxe figure, then cool. Yeah, I'm down for that. Adam Smedberg has a great recommendation here. Replace the action feature with Screechbird. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be awesome. And CAF says, V2 Evil Lyn looks great. I hope we see more 2000X inspired figures. Yeah, I agree. As much as the yellow and blues, like the the iconic classic action figure style of the original Evil Lyn, I like this look better. And I think you said that too, John. So I think I'm glad we're getting it. Don't get me wrong. I just wish we get some other stuff thrown in there.
Yeah.
If you're going to use the same buck, throw extra stuff in it besides a paint change. But I'm sure it'll still sell well. Daniel Bosco says, I do like her skin tone in this version. Agreed. The original 80s glowed. Evil Lyn did? Did I miss that?
Her staff might a little bit. I kind of remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
But I might be misremembering that.
I think I have my Evil Lyn right there. I might just go grab it real quick.
But it's such an odd blue. Like, how does that glow?
Bo Cox says he wants an anti-He-Man. Are we getting an anti-He-Man soon? Okay, so hidden feature. Well, there you go. So hidden that I never. Almost 40 years later, I did not know. So good to know. Good to know.
We were supposed to get anti-He-Man as well as Slime Pit and a bunch of others that were showed at PowerCon like 2018 maybe.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Fisto I believe somebody said, I probably can't find it now, but be careful Googling. Um, but this one was, and it's happened a few times now, but the fist is not the same as the Mr. T, and I'm blanking on the other MOTU WWE MOTU figures, where it's like a glove.
Yep.
Goes over the hand. This looks like a legit part of the sculpt, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like it plugs right onto the forearm.
Mm-hmm.
But it also does not look like it. We get a swinging arm feature. Because I figured that would have been on like the like in a burst on the card, like to show that it actually has a working feature.
Yeah, and that's a good point about like Fisto and hang on. Jitsu, thank you. That these just kind of use the existing power punch feature, or especially Fisto. And since there is no that feature, the punching action is kind of dulled here on this figure.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then there is a problem they had to solve for with the MOTU Classics line with their armor. We have a little midriff action here. So, should there be, how they did it with Battle Armor He-Man with just kind of that flat ab thing to make it look like it was part of the armor?
Yeah, they painted the lower half of the ab crunch the silver,
but it was also flat too because it didn't have the little belly button or whatever. Do you think they should have went a similar route with Fisto, or just make the armor long enough to cover the midriff?
Yeah, I think they just could have made the armor suitable for the entire torso, because it looks weird. It's it's a problem as old as time with Masters figures. Because I don't think it was just Battle Armor He-Man. I think there's like a handful of figures that had that problem.
But I assumed, and like the Battle Armor Faker had it big time because they didn't do a little ab. Ab one. But that was more. I always assumed that was more born out of the classics, MOTU Classics lines having the ab crunch, right? So you needed the flexibility in the armor. The MOTU Origins line does not have an ab crunch, so you can just make the armor longer, and it's not going to affect the figure in any way.
Because I mean, it looks like it's you might need 2 or 3 millimeters more height on the armor. I mean, maybe they aimed for that. Maybe this is just a problem. After tooling, maybe it shrinks up a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I love this, Riley Bob. It's crop top Fisto. That's an action feature.
That's his action feature. Yeah. When he takes his armor off, it's all mesh underneath.
Jason Clark looks like my wife washed his armor. Oh man. So CF says, I bet that they might also release a Fisto and Strider 2-pack. Absolutely. It'd be silly if they didn't. A lot of people are agreeing, willing to bet there's no Fisto action feature. Yeah, it seems action features are reserved for the deluxe figures. This is a standard release, so I'm assuming we're not getting that here. Roman Reigns was the other one that had the club. Thank you so much, Adam Smedberg. So other than that, I think it looks great. I do think it looks great. Laka Framalama, hello fellas, that Fisto looks awesome to me, and definitely the highlight of the wave. Again, yeah, I think it looks great. The head sculpt, even the head sculpt here, it looks like this was the first up paint of the figure. I don't know if this is the actual retail release. Is that kind of, and again, it's a kind of a grainy digital image, so this isn't the best look here. But doesn't the paint on the head just seem a little too like done by hand versus like a mass-produced release?
It almost looks like there's like a defect in the bubble. Like right between his upper lip and nose, and he has like a Whedon Henry Cavill problem going on. It's fuzzy. But I do think this is finished. I think this is retail.
Still though, I think it looks good. Crop top aside,
Yeah.
maybe we can stretch it out. Maybe we can just try and pull it down. Like sometimes, especially during this pandemic, maybe we're a little bit thicker in the midriff than before you stretch the shirts just so they fit a little bit better. That's just I've had to do that a few times. Maybe that's just what we need to do for Fisto here. I love the belt buckle collar. Buzz off, probably flexible. Yeah, absolutely, because all the arm set is very flexible. So I think that's good. Again, I think just make it a little bit longer. Pop Actor says, I would have rather seen Clawful, Sky Clone, and Mechanic. I think we're getting there. There's no way we're not going to get those. Sky Clone and Mechanic are again kind of very dependent on their action feature as part of the figure. And much like Ram Man, even though it was a kind of a standard retail release originally, they might have to be saved for their kind of deluxe figures, which is at that $19.99 price point, so that we get the extending neck and for Skyclone, the spinning top to him. So I think I can't wait to see those either, but those are definitely going to be reserved for that. Fisto needs to work out. Does he even lift? Hey, listen, those arms look way better than mine, so I'm not going to criticize,
lift, bro.
Do you even lift, bro? Rosemont Car Company. Fisto looking epic, but prepared for horrific paint apps on him, going by how bad Clamp Champ was. I still haven't gotten Clamp Champ. I have it pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store, so hopefully it shows up eventually, but I have not done it. Space Cowboy says, Fisto didn't gain weight during quarantine. He wants to show it off. You know what, Space Cowboy, I think you're right. Hey, listen, if I had abs like Fisto, I'd wear a midget. Todd Smith says, I'm so tempted to buy into MOTU Origins. Only got first wave. Whew, must resist. Don't resist, Todd. Give in. Looking for Malama. Every line is rough to collect unless you dig Beyblade. Beyblades are fun, man. It's a fun one with the Pop Actor says Amazon's probably the best in selling these toys. That's the one I didn't do. Maybe I should have done that. Actually, no, I got my Land Shark from there, and it was pretty quick. I have not seen. Same with you, CF. I have not seen a deluxe figure in the wild either.
Nope.
So
the only people seeing them are the scalpers.
Yep. AKA the Target employees. I'm kidding. All right. Next up is who's next here? There we go. This one I'm a little irked about.
With good reason.
So, one, it's an amazing figure. This Merman is fantastic. I know this because I have it already.
Is there anything that stands out right away that it's different?
The paint, it's far less paint apps. So now, if anyone doesn't know, probably know if you're watching this, but this version of Merman was part of the Lords of Power set, which was the PowerCon exclusive that didn't happen this year, but they still released the set. Great set of figures, has some, very early design, very Alcala, early mini comics looks. So I was all over it because that's my favorite version of these characters, especially the Merman. He's so different in the original mini comics to the eventual action figure that we got. So this figure is the main reason I dropped $250 on that set. That and Man-at-Arms. But here he is. Everyone else, I'm happy for everyone else that maybe didn't get the Lords of Power set, because now you can get it for $14.99 versus the $250 I dropped.
Although that set is still going over 300, I think, on the secondary market, even with the announcement of Merman and Beastman.
I probably should have pulled him out just to have him here, but this does look less than the Lords of Power ones, because this is a lighter green. There are less paint apps. There was paint apps all over the armor. A lot more kind of shading and toning. So it is a better figure than this one. But on a per figure basis for the Lords of Power set, if I remember correctly, I think we spec'd it out to what, $50 some odd per figure for the Lords of Power set.
Yep.
So if this is $15, say the other one is $55, so that's what, a $40 difference, $40.
Mm-hmm.
The differences to me don't warrant the $40 that you know.
Especially when you can like get some cheap paint and do it yourself.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, you probably make this look darn near just as close.
Mm-hmm.
But still happy for those that didn't get the set, because this Merman is my favorite look for Merman, and they did a fantastic job. Like the sculpt, honestly, you could put it side by side with a classics figure, and I thought it looked just as good. It just smaller scale. So really, really great figure. Yeah, sword had paint too. Daniel Pozzo says, love my Lord's Power Merman. Definitely some paint job compared to the Lord. Absolutely. Again, Lord's Power has a better paint job, no doubt. Renders FX says he's missing the paint up on the chest, belt, and Bubbles deco on the diaper area. Slight tone difference in green. I got a Lords of Power for this Merman. I'm still excited to get this one. Again, same here. It's the reason I got the Lords of Power set. You can watch my review of that set on this channel. You can go to the main page in the MOTU Origins section. It's fantastic. It's great. Yeah. Anywho's. So really cool figure. All right. Now, in terms of close-up images, could not find one of this one. Old Faker here. So this is going to be very grainy. I do apologize for that. So let's look at it here. But we can still kind of see at least answer some of the questions that we had when we first got word that Faker was going to be in this wave. Actually, I think they swapped them. Wasn't originally 6 and was pulled up to 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, very interesting that it seems very clear that the MOTU Origins Faker does not have the new He-Man head sculpt, but it has the vintage style He-Man head sculpt. That is an interesting choice. What's your thoughts there, John? It throws me off a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, I think for them trying to shoot this as, or towards kids, in reality, it's hard to explain like that this is supposed to be He-Man when their He-Man looks different. They're supposed to be identical aside from the skin tone and the armor. It's really interesting. I'd love to know why they picked this head sculpt, because regardless, maybe there's another head in there. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Goes back to our, deluxe figure conundrum. But I get it. This Faker is a real fan favorite. And I think they'll sell more by having a carded version of this than if it was a carded version with a He-Man head.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think that there's people that don't collect Origins that are just like, like vintage. That's it. But there's people that collect just nothing but Faker, and they want that look.
Yeah.
So I think they'll definitely sell more. I mean, they're going to sell regardless. Doesn't matter. But I think the Faker collectors will buy this, even if they don't collect Origins.
True. Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Because this is the more iconic look of the character, matching it to the vintage one. But it is interesting. This is one of the few choices we've seen that they are angling for the adult collector here. Because to your point, to a kid like that has the He-Man figure, and there's plenty of the He-Man figures. But it's a blue He-Man, so I mean, I guess you could say like it doesn't really look like He-Man anyway, but still,
right, right. But it's supposed to be like, if you go back and look at it, it's supposed to be exactly like He-Man looks wise,
Yeah.
aside from the skin. So maybe we'll find out in the mini comic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe.
In the 3-page mini comic.
How do you explain it? I don't know. So, I'm kind of, and maybe this is a change to the feedback has been so negative about the new He-Man head sculpt.
Yep.
Surprisingly so. But every time it's been on the show, it's been said many times, just in passing with other toy friends. Like, yeah, it's great, but that He-Man is awful. The head sculpt is terrible. I really like the head sculpt. It's different. I dig it. It's something new, something fresh.
Yep.
I like it, but I get that's not for everyone. He-Man's head sculpt is one of those things that, and it's the Dutch paint boy haircut. It's always it's either you go all in, go all in on that bowl cut, or you try to change it up a little bit, and you're probably never gonna get it perfect either, no matter how you do it. But for me personally, I would have preferred the new style head sculpt. But I get it. I get if you're going for, or maybe they're just going to stop doing it. Maybe this is a signal to say the He-Man's going forward. They're just going to stick to the vintage head sculpt based on the feedback they've gotten from people. Because Michael Wallace says it here. So we're getting Lords of Power He-Man with vintage head too. So maybe they're going to transition away, and this could be the proof of that transition away from the new He-Man head sculpt on the first release of He-Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could very well be. I was just thinking maybe we'll get a Battle Armor Faker, and it'll come with the new style, the new sculpt head.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a good way to get it out there for the people that do want that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd probably pick up 2 Fakers just to, if we did have that head available, to have 2 displays.
Yeah. So yeah, it is interesting. Justin Moen said it would be nice if they stuck with the vintage head. The fact they put Faker here with the vintage head, it makes me think so. It makes me think so. Randers FX says if he comes with the orange sword, axe, shield combo, totally agree. Non-Origins MOTU fans are going to hunt this guy out. Well, based on the packaging, there's no way they have all that stuff. I think it's just going to be the sword. But again, they could do a deluxe version with the axe, shield, different head sculpts, robot, exposed face kind of thing.
Yep.
A lot of options there. They probably do a battle armor one.
Yeah.
Daniel Boswell says, did the original have a different orange in hair and armor? Kind of. I don't know if it's just a paint. I'm trying to remember now if it's like the current ones, just the paint is aged on the hair.
No, I think the hair was darker than the armor on the vintage one.
It's always in my memory, even as a kid, I've always remembered it being a bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like one of those things, like I don't remember getting it off the shelves and opening out of the package and exactly it was the same color now. Because even if you have mock examples now, that still has however many years of aging. So
yeah.
But I do think it always has been darker in color versus because the armor is like a neon glow orange. So that is no different there. I think so. I believe, and someone said here, we're going to get the Lords of Power He-Man, which does have the vintage head sculpt. So anyways, there you go. There you have it. I believe I do want to call this out. Was it Justin Moan that said this? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how does everybody rate this wave? 10 is the best, obviously. So John, I'll ask you that question. How do you rate this wave of 4 figures?
I'm gonna say like a 6.
Okay.
Because I'm excited about Fisto.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3, I don't think we should have gotten so many figures together that they have tooling for already.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should get 2 figures that are brand new sculpts, 2 figures that could be, reused.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already have an Evil in.
Yep.
The Merman's been done with the Lords of Power set, and Faker is a He-Man body, essentially. Plus, we do have that He-Man head already. in a couple different forms. So Fisto is the only real, true to form original in this wave. That's the only reason I'm going to give it a 6. Yep. I do obviously going to get all of them.
Sure.
I think if we had 2 original figures, like if there was a Mechanic in there, or I want to see a Snake Man. We haven't had a Snake Man yet.
True. Yep.
How about you?
I kind of agree. I think these are great characters. Faker, really excited for Faker. Love Faker. Fisto, another like home run kind of character. Gotta have him. I think the Eveling looks great. I wish it was a deluxe figure. And for Merman, I'm a little salty. I'm a little salty on Merman, even though it's a great figure. It's a really great figure,
right? But it's for you. It's like one less figure to look forward to.
Exactly. So for me, I'm gonna give it a 7. One out of trying to be as fair as possible to this Merman, even though I feel like I should be given a producer's credit because the money that I put into that Lords of Power set helped the tooling of this figure.
Yeah.
Clearly. And I think Daniel calls to your point really well here. I agree. They should have kept Stinker in this wave instead of swapping him with Faker. So if there was Stinkor in this wave, does that kind of shift the feel that this is like kind of 3 repaints? And
if this had Stinkor, this would be like a solid 8.5 for me.
Agreed. So great call out, Daniel. Gamelo says it's an 8 for me, only passing on Eva Lynn. Justin says I'll give it a 6.5 because there are too many repaints too soon. CF says I give this wave 8.5. Matt Lynch 7.5. All Music 8. So, I think, and again, I don't want to knock them too bad because clearly the Stinkor thing wasn't working and they couldn't get the stink right. So, they had a sub-in Faker here. So maybe that'll mean that wave 6 will be that much cooler because a repaint kind of got swapped out, and then now we're going to have maybe that much cooler of a wave for wave 6. And once we get those pictures, you best believe we'll be talking about them here on Toy Geeks. Jay Griffiths, 0 out of 10 for inevitable lack of distribution. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll still give a little bit of still the pandemic, still shipping's all messed up. So, hopefully in time, it'll become a lot easier. But definitely a fair point to make, Jay Griffiths. Joe Rad agrees with you, John. 6.5. I wish any of the Snake Men were on. They got to get to him eventually, right?
They have to. I mean, I think we should get a different faction, like the Horde or Snake Men. One from a faction in every wave.
Yep, I agree. A Master Blaster says Stinkor is a repaint. Yes, but it has the stink. That's new.
Yep.
And it used Mechanix armor. So it is a hodgepodge of different things, but at least I don't know. I don't know why that feels more new than Faker to me. It just does.
It does feel newer.
So that patchouli oil, man, it's magic. It's magic. Michael Wallace says Snake Man, San Diego Comic-Con or PowerCon. Well, listen, they're clearly waiting on us to pay for those exclusives to make the new sculpts that they'll then eventually just put into the normal line. So it's not a bad idea there, Michael. Sir Butternugget cannot wait to see Mosquito. Absolutely. That one's coming up. Orko was in wave 2, Matt Lynch. Rosemont Car Company says will be a 10 for me if they stop getting the local nursery school kids to paint the figures. I haven't had too much issues with the paint because there hasn't been. The paint apps are pretty slim on these figures. I have not had too many issues because it's very slim to none.
Yeah.
It's usually casted in the plastic, but sorry you've had that issue, Rosemont. All Music, it's jumped up. How would they do King Hiss, like the vintage or classic inspired with that awesome snake top? Again, this is where it gets into tricky territory for them as they release so many of these figures. as they start getting into these action feature rich figures, are they just going to start having to do a bunch of deluxe figures? Because King Hiss is another one where, he has the shell opens up and there's snakes inside.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that to be deluxe so that we would get the really cool snake top like we got for the classics version.
Yeah, I'd much rather get a version like that where you get an alternate torso rather than that lame shell. That's probably my least favorite vintage figure because of that.
It's his like dead stare too on this. It's so bad. Adam Smedberg, who else is in Wave 6? Goddess, Webster, Stinkor, and Mosquitor, I believe. Could be wrong. Is there a Mosquito or a deluxe figure? I may miss
Is it Lords of Power Beastman?
Oh, that may be. Oh, I think you're right. Anywho, that's that. Exciting stuff. Excited to get, and again, hopefully these are continue to get easier and easier to find. Because I do know it's still been tough for a lot of people. All right. Next bit of news here. Oh, there you go. Mosquito is a deluxe figure for Pixel Dan. Well, again, very dependent on an action feature. It was a standard issue, but because they've relegated action features to the deluxe line, it has to be in the deluxe line. And I think I knocked my headphone out. I think they're going to run into a problem where a lot of these figures are going to have to be deluxe figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
The deeper we get into this bench, Mecha Neck, Blast Attack.
Mm-hmm.
I assume a figure like Buzz Off, just because of his wings, is going to have to be a deluxe figure. Web Store. I'm surprised he is a basic figure because of his backpack.
Mm-hmm.
If that still has the, if you can like hook it up and pull the string and have him, kind of, if it works, I should say, if the backpack actually works. It's
the Web Store backpack is still magic to me. I don't understand the science of the Web Store backpack.
I love that thing.
It is so cool. It doesn't make any. It defies logic.
Mm-hmm. Pull it down and he goes up. That baffles me.
It's so cool. It's still to this day. I'm just like, it's so freaking neat. So I do hope it is a standard retail release. It's got to have that feature. It's gotta.
If it doesn't, I'm going to write angry letters.
Amico, dude, I'm about to buy a battle cat and paint it purple. Can't find anything. I've been fortunate enough. I've found it a few times. It's not as easy to find as battle cat by any stretch of the imagination. But if you hit, I found it at Target a few times. If that's any help there. SSP Sound says, did I miss out on Randman already? Again, for any of these ones, I don't feel like we've missed out. I feel like over time, just more and more going to hit retail and be on the pegs.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're saying earlier, as we go deeper into the bench, and a lot of these are going to have to be deluxe figures, I feel like we're just going to probably see more and more kind of re-releases of the more standard issue figures to fill up pegs while we kind of go slower on the deluxe figures. That would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Because, even though this is like the Origins line and we're still getting the Masterverse and whatever else is going to come out for, the multiple Netflix series that are coming out. Mm-hmm. Once those are out, once that media is out there, Mattel's going to want to start filling the shelves even more.
Yeah.
So I think what's been coming out so far is for us.
Yeah.
It's ramping it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once everything is, it's a better oiled machine, we'll see the Rammans and the Clamp Champs, the Battle Armors. I haven't found any of those. I haven't seen anything.
Mm-mm.
But you got your Ramman through Big Bad, right?
Yep, I got it from BBTS.
Yeah. So I think even places like Big Bad or Dorkside, Entertainment Earth, as they get them in, they'll ship them out, but they're not getting, their full order allotment in all at the same time. So I think if it still says pre-order it, and then comes in when it comes in.
Yeah. Yep. And hopefully in time they do come in. I believe somebody pre-ordered the Grayskull. I think Joe Rad says, any news on Castle Grayskull? I ordered mine from BBTS and it says August delivery. What? Well, hell, like Walmart is canceling everybody's, like not everybody's, but a lot of people's orders. And they probably will cancel more.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to hit this month. It's not for a lot of people.
It was supposed to ship on the 17th of this month.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a cancellation. I got a delay till June, July, something. I don't know.
Yeah. Masterbuy says Toy Polloi rebuilds one of Web Store's backpacks. I gotta watch that one. Toy Polloi is amazing. One of the best restorers on the internet. So I'll definitely check out that one. Who thinks Grizzlord will have real fur? He needs to. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Hopefully that's not a deluxe figure. Laka from Alama. Any figure that is action feature dependent should be a deluxe. Nobody minds paying that extra $5 for all that you get in the deluxe figs. Agreed. Daniel Boswell, I got a delay, but I'm expecting a cancellation from Walmart any day now. I got a delay from Walmart as well. Ugh, yeah. Bummer.
You know, I almost prefer a cancellation because then I'll know that I can get it somewhere else.
Yep. Agreed. And plus, Walmart's having the weird issues with the increased prices and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Solo 619er. That delay is for your cancellation notification.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen any of the MOTU offering some Toy Snobs? Definitely worth checking out if you haven't. Yeah, Toy Snobs is great. I love their different takes on the turtle figures. Great stuff from them. SPs, I just checked my Walmart Castle pre-order and it was canceled. Thanks,
no.
I'm sorry to hear that. Again, I do want to dedicate some time to talk about Walmart pre-orders and what the heck is going on, because it is absolutely infuriating how poor that experience has been for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about another big release this week for MOTU fans. And that was the Mattel Creations Shogun Masters Skeletor that actually stayed up longer than I thought it would. I think it stayed up a full day. But it is in the Shogun Warriors style. Same look and feel. Pixel Dan got one to review early. And looks really cool. Again, you can see it scales with the Shogun Warriors. And again, it stayed up for a while. It was $300 for the set. But out of all the crazy things they've released so far, like the Madsky, I could care less about that. Honest.
Yeah.
This one, if money was no object, I probably would have picked up. But it's to the point where you have HasLab projects. I got the Sentinel, it's $300. I pre-ordered the Thunder Tanks, 500 something bucks. The Optimus Prime, that's a robot, 700. I can't. I gotta draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
My wife will leave me. So I did not get this one. But it is really cool. What was your thoughts here?
I was fully in on this, ordering it.
Yeah.
Without knowing the price.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the price, I said, absolutely not.
What would have been a instant buy for you price? Because 300 is a lot.
I would say 150. 150 would have been a manageable, mentally for this.
Sure.
300 though? No way. I get it. It's priced so high because it is, limited production.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot. That's just a lot for this.
Yeah.
It doesn't use that much plastic. It's got decent action features, just spring-loaded things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also sort of, 1970s technology. It's just spring-loaded. It's not like it's not like Optimus Prime, transforming itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is not $300 worth of toy to me. It's maybe $300 worth of like uniqueness for some collectors that collect Shoguns. But nah, this would be nothing but regret.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt too. I was like, I think you're right. Maybe $150. $150 would have been the sweet point.
Yeah.
And maybe if I had more Shogun Warriors in my collection, maybe I would have been more inclined to go for the 300 because then it'd be cool as part of the display. But I don't have it. I have the Godzilla, but he's kind of his own thing. And yeah, it was a little too overpriced for me. But for those that got it, everyone had the chance. Everyone had the chance. So 35 said voice command Optimus sets the bar. This Skeletor is way overpriced.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the Sentinel. It's bigger than this thing.
Yeah,
it's got so many interchangeable parts, articulation. And that's limited production.
Yeah,
I think that this was just overpriced because they know what things sell on Mattel Creations now, like the Mad Ski stuff that sold out instantly for thousands. I think their feeling now is we can put out anything, price it however we want, and it's gonna go.
Well, because Mattel Creations it's saying that it's art, it's toys as art.
Yeah,
and they're slapping a toys as art price tag on it because you're right. You're right. The Sentinel HasLab Sentinel is amazing. It's bigger, hyper articulated, lights up, interchangeable parts, extra figures that come with it. It is an iconic character. Like it is a character that will take your X-Men display to 11 on the 1 to 10 scale. These amps go to 11. Like, so all of what the Sentinel gives you for me, I was at $50 more. I can't remember. I was at 300, 350, whatever that is. This does not come close to that in terms of value for money.
Right.
And so while I think this is awesome, I agree. It was too much. I pass. Joe Rad agrees here. 150 if it lights up. 300 is too much. Matt Lynch says, I feel like they're taking advantage of us collectors. It does feel that way, but again, Mattel Creations, like they're not saying this is for collectors. This is like toys as art, which is slightly different.
Yep.
But everything they've put on here has been way overpriced for collectors, and collectors spend way too much money on toys. So if it's overpriced for collectors, it is clearly targeting a different demographic, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, as a collector, we have a very poor gauge when it comes to buying things in person at a show. We just all right, I need it, I want it right now. But like this, it's just clear as day. Like, no, this is just a solid no. This is just as bad as that Baby Yoda in the prawn thing that Mattel Creations was hawking last month.
Yeah. Well, at least that the Baby Yoda, the Grogu, which was you could buy the stuffed one for $20. That was a slap in the face. At least this is something new. But yes, that alone should tell you what you need to know about that. Stephen H, I agree here. Would rather have a vintage Grail than this $300 overpriced Skeletor. Agreed.
Yep. I think if Mattel said we're going to do Shogun Warriors again, just vintage repros. We'll try and get it as close to the originals as possible without crossing that line of making people not want to collect vintage anymore. If we knew that there was some coming out, I think it would be a different story, because then we know, like, all right, I'll have 4 or 5 next to Skeletor. It'll look like a good display. You can justify spending that kind of money on a Skeletor.
Exactly.
But what are you going to put them next to?
Yeah, I agree. And again, you look at the Boglins now by Tri-Action Toys. This is a faithful recreation of a cult classic toy for toy collectors. I would love to see something like this for Shogun Warriors.
Yep. And they're so basic.
It was so cheap back then. It's similar to Boglins, where it's like the rubber and it degrades over time and stuff.
Yep.
Finding a mint complete Shogun Warrior is really hard because they're so, like my Godzilla, while it has everything, The arm, when the shooting hand is cracked on one side and it's missing part of the tab on the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would love to see them bring that back. So,
maybe one day.
Jason Clark says, I feel like Statler and Waldorf are in a room laughing at how much to charge for vintage collector vintage toys. Dan Boswell, love those Boglins. I got all three on my Kickstarter. They're great. The Boglins are great. Still working on the video for review for it. I freaking love them. My kids love them. They're kind of freaked out by them, but they really dig them. My littlest Alex, he's 3, and he's like, take it out of the cage, Daddy, and we'll take it out. And he talks. And it's fun.
Are you going to get the Dark Lords? They went up for pre-order today. If you were on the email list, yeah. If you got the email list,
maybe I didn't. I'm gonna do that then. Luis Espinoza, regards from Ecuador. Hello, Luis. All right. Rosemont, I'd rather have a Lords of Power set any day over this. No contest. Well, there you go. All right. Other big news. It's incoming. We've been teased for a while. They're going to be Super 7's going to show us Wave 5 of TMNT.
Yep.
We know 3 of the 4 slots. So we have Samurai Leonardo. You know, this is a figure that I could care less about as a vintage figure. Personally, it's kind of one of those extra costume turtles that, that out of all of them, this one never really spoke to me. But the Horseman doing it and doing some back metal stuff, and I'm kind of excited by this one, which I would not think I would be.
I'm super excited. This guy, this Leo, was probably my favorite vintage turtle figure.
Really? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Even though like his accessories were lame, outside of the sword, like he had the flag, you know, it's like, I remember when I got that, I'm like, oh, I don't really understand it, you know, because I'm, 10 years old, 9 years old. Like, I don't understand why he has a flag. But I think the coolest thing about him was that the sword actually went in the sheath.
Yes.
And then they could go around him like a broken in two. But I just loved the colors on this figure when I was a kid. One of my favorites. So when I saw the tease for this, I was like, I got chills.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. That's really cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, because even looking here, like, it's just a little bit, but the gold looks shiny. And I think this could be a really, really darn good figure.
I'm super excited.
For me, out of the disguise, like, it was probably 4 out of 4 for me, because I love Sewer Surfing Mikey. I freaking love Sewer Surfing Mikey. Loved Undercover Donnie. Space Raft. Actually, probably Space Raft might be last on that list. But still, I think they're all really cool. But again, 4 Horsemen doing it, high quality paint apps, everything like that. I'm excited for this. I
can't wait. Cannot wait.
And then Krang. They showed us 2 teasers here. One, this one looks great. He comes with a little stand, which the vintage figure didn't come with. His little rolly wheel seat thing. And then he'll have his little Android walker thing that the vintage toy came with. Yeah.
And it looks like it's got you can see the canopy is like kind of set backwards on it. Like it's open.
So really excited for that. Again, another one of the, I think it was year 2 figures, right? It was 89, the 89 wave.
Yep.
So a must have. And then freaking Leatherhead. And look at this shotgun, man. Look at the detail on the shotgun.
I know. So much better than that red.
Yeah. And look at how the hand perfectly holds the gun. Whoo!
I'm hoping like his stance is just like the vintage toy, where it's he's kind of squat over, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait for this guy.
Well, and what they've done really well with the articulation is like with Baxter Stockman. I don't know if you've felt the same way, but he can kind of get in that squatty pose of the figure, or the vintage figure, but then he can also stand up taller, more upright, like a modern figure maybe would.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be really cool as well if Leatherhead does get in that kind of squatty, kind of half standing up alligator spot. Maybe he could do a little, but also with the modern tech articulation, can stand up a little more upright would be really awesome. So, okay, that's 3 out of the 4. Any guesses on number 4? We haven't had a tease for that.
I'm gonna say
Probably a good guy, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Usagi.
Ooh, Sagi Yojimbo.
Yeah,
that's a good guess. That's a really good guess.
Yeah, it's a solid, fan favorite.
Yep.
I think it's got to be him.
I was thinking him or Ace Duck.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too.
But Usagi would be huge. And that's where they may. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But now that we've got the Samurai Leo, are the next kind of waves of turtles going to be the disguised turtles, which I'd be fine with, to be honest, if they just kind of went through that.
Yeah, if we got one in each wave. Save Ralph for last, please. I like him. He's just my least favorite.
Yeah, it is. It's mine too, but it could be cool with the space, the helmet, and everything. If anybody could make it really cool, it'd be the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, if they could do that figure justice, it'll be the Horsemen.
Yeah. Agree with Master Blaster. That's a good wave right there. Agreed. Very quickly become my favorite toy line of today. We gave a bunch of flack for Diamond Select's Cobra Kai wave.
I know, and here's this one.
Boom, look at that. So Icon Heroes. But it's not Cobra Kai though. I guess it's
it's just Karate Kid.
Karate Kid. But maybe they could do some Cobra Kai figures.
I'm hoping.
That looks way better than
that looks so much better.
And the very flat face, horrible paint apps.
I feel like, Icon Heroes seen the diamond stuff and they're like, all right, you want to sell some figures? Let's do our own. Because the license must be cheap.
It must be.
Between NECA, Diamond. Wasn't there the NECA did 2 versions, right? Didn't they do the cloth body ones too?
Yep. Yeah. So these look better. Please, Icon Heroes, do Cobra Kai. Save us from the DST figures. Ron Pointus found the Rise of 2-pack date. Well, congrats. From what I have heard, it has been much easier to find than people have thought. So give it time. Hopefully it's very easy to find. That was John and I's take when this was first announced, that hopefully it would be like some of those Marvel Legends exclusives that were relatively not too hard to find. Some got clearance. So Old School is in the house. Hello, Old School. He must be watching the Oscars. He just came in. I don't know. Ron Points, Panther, however, is impossible to find, and I hate Walmart. Again, I've seen Panther a couple times, but I've not seen a deluxe figure. But that's been at Target. I've not tried Walmart, and the flocked one I have not seen yet. All right, and then last bit of things here. This is more for me personally. My family and I love the Camp Cretaceous show on Netflix. And one of the big bummers, and my kids have tons of the dinosaurs, but there's only been one figure so far. So we're finally getting the rest of the characters packed with dinos from the show. So pretty pumped for that. Again, it's, if you haven't watched it, it's pretty good. Even if you're not watching with kids, it's a pretty good show. It's not like DuckTales good for an adult watching it, but it's still pretty solid. Gets all the scares and everything you like from Jurassic Park. So excited that they're going to be releasing these packs. I know my kids are going to be all over these.
How do those dinosaurs compare to regular release Jurassic dinos? Is it less articulation or anything?
They're the same as all the other ones. I think these are repaints essentially. This they've done this raptor a few times. I have 6 raptors.
Yeah.
So these are all basically repaints, re-releases of stuff we've already gotten. The Gallimimus, I already have that Gallimimus. The Bumpy, we already have. Because Bumpy's Alex's favorite character from the show. And if you watch the show, Bumpy is the jam. But anywho, fun show. Again, it's one of the kids shows. It's on Netflix. but it's a kid show that if you're the grown up watching, it's not like Paw Patrol where you want to like gouge your eyeballs out. It's actually a fun show that has the feel of Jurassic Park, but it follows some kid. It's set in the events of the first Jurassic World movie, and kind of goes from there. Already has 2 seasons. I think the 3rd season's dropping this summer. So cool that they're finally getting all the cast of characters from the show. All right, that is all the main news topics. So, John, real quick, because we're already over the hour. Toy hauls. Do you have any toy hauls this week?
I got one.
All right, I have one as well.
All right.
So, do you want to? I don't know who went first last time, but do you want to go first?
Sure. A lot of chat in the chat right now. Flocked.
Oh, good for you.
So I will say, okay, so flocking is cool, but I don't think I would pay I did find this at retail. I don't think I would pay the extra 15 for the flocking, like out of the box, knowing, messing around with it. Once it's sitting on the shelf, it doesn't matter, flocked or not flocked. So I did find it at my Walmart. There was one left on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they did get in a whole case. And whoever, I'm going to say the scalper that left this one behind, left it because the box was sliced, like when they opened the case.
Yeah, when they opened the box cutter.
Yeah. So I'm guessing maybe that's why they left it, because they didn't want to deal with hassle of describing, like, when they sell it on the secondary market, oh, the box is cut, I don't want it, blah, blah, blah. But that's all right.
Okay, show it again. I want to see it some more. Look at it. I don't care what you say. Cool. That looks way cooler than I have the normal release. That one looks way cooler.
So the only parts that aren't flocked, of course, are the knees.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good. It's not like
rub.
There's a awkward gap near the joints, which looks good.
Right. Yeah, they did a really good job. Like underneath the foot pads, it seems thick enough where it won't wear off. Like it looks like there's enough on it, except there are some high spots, like on his belly, where it's already rubbed. Like it's already a little bit of plastic showing.
Yep.
Where the belt rubs.
Yep.
But it's still cool. If I had this one in hand in the plastic one, I would probably just do $25 for the plastic one if I had to do it all over again.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's $39.
Yeah. Yep.
It is pricey. That is pricey, but it does look nice. It does look nice.
I would say if you're going to get it, if you're a box collector, so I have the box here.
Oh yeah, and the box is supposed to feel fancier. So does it feel supposed to feel like kind of velvety or whatever, right?
Yeah. So the letters are very raised. It does have like it's like satin, and then like the burst logos.
Yep.
It's not so much raised as it is like glossy feeling compared to the rest of the box.
Yep.
And the tray inside, so like how Battle Cat was like just held down with ties. The inner tray is like 2 parts. It's like a clamshell inside the window. So there's no tie downs holding Panther in, so he won't rub. Like the flocking won't rub off. So they did a really good job on the packaging. I'm going to say the packaging costs more than the flocking. And that's really what you're paying for.
That's fascinating.
And this is super glossy.
Yeah.
It stands out big time compared to the rest of the box. But the Masters logo is super raised.
Yeah, I see that. You can see it here on the video.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, good. That's good. That's awesome. Some comments here. My girlfriend is flocked. She is less expensive. And old school very quickly responds, is she from Russia, Pop Actor? Custom video 454. But by now, Mattel has recognized the drastically underestimated Origins popularity, and all this stuff will be everywhere this summer on the shelves. I agree. Pop Actor says no, she stopped shaving her legs. It's a more prickly, I think, than a flocked panther, but that's just from my own experience. All right. Well, I'm not going to top that because that's awesome. But I was excited. You saw it in the intro. I pulled some of the video from the review that I'm doing. But the Dennis Nedry set, I saw, again, going to Target, trying to find the Rise of Evil pack. They did have this set. We talked about it on the show. So that review is, soon, probably Tuesday, just based on the current production of it. But Dennis Nedry looks great. There's a lot of differences on the Jeep Wrangler compared to the previous release, so we'll talk about those. With the Dilophosaurus. So a fun little set for $29. And look out for the full review on Tuesday of this week. Pop actor with the funnies today. All right. We should do one stump, John. Don't you think? Just one quick
one. All right. Just a quick one. Let's do
one quick one, and then we're getting out of here. Because I don't want to leave these going on too long here. Let's go. I think we got one from Jay Griffiths. Nope, I already did that one. Maybe I won't have one. Here we go. I don't know if that's fair. Hold on. Sorry, that one's not going to be fair to him. I'm trying to be fair to you, John. There's Stump John's. Actually, I don't have any. So you're saved. You're saved,
all right,
John.
What wasn't fair? I'm curious.
Well, so it wasn't quite a toy, but sure, I'll pull it up here. I don't even know if it'd be fair to say, like, is there a brand of this or something? But let me share here. Here we go. So this little guy here. So this is from Scott. Not a figure, but one of my favorite toys from being a kid.
Just looks like one of those foam planes.
Little glider airplanes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's connected to any toy line or anything.
Yeah. It looks like something like, I remember those big 3-foot foam planes you would assemble, just kind of like loop-de-loop.
Had quite a few of those in my youth. 100%. That's what it reminds me of the most. It seems like a much smaller one. Old school is that a Fisher Price Adventure People glider. Well, here's the thing. Like on the little sticker here,
it says something about made in or something in USA.
Well, it looks like he blocked it out. If you look right here, he did block it out. So does he? He didn't tell me what it is. So are you here in the chat, Scott? Maybe not.
Styro gliders.
Oh, Dartherian styro gliders.
Maybe. I guess it's just not my wheelhouse.
So there you go. So we've stumped John, but I do like that styro gliders. Matt Lynch got the X-Men crossover Transformer half price on Target. Nicely done.
Oh, nice.
Matt Lynch. Oh, Dartherian made it up. He did that last week or the week before. He does a really good job of that. Filthy foam fly. All right. Well, I think that's as good a place as any to close it out for tonight's Toy Geeks. We do this show Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sorry, they need to go to my. Yes, you do. You do a great job, Tyrion. Look, slingshot it. There you go. Yeah, one of those. That'd be great. I think maybe next week we'll have the topic Walmart WTF.
Yep.
Pre-orders, because we need to have a chat about it. We need to get real with Walmart because it's getting out of control. But hopefully everybody's toy hunts are fruitful this week. And we'll see you all next week with the latest in toy news and our latest toy hauls. And just overall having a fun time chatting toys. John, is always great chatting toys with you and hanging out with you, my friend.
You as well.
And until next time. Hasta luego, and goodbye.